What's up, guys? I haven't seen you guys in a while. I know it's been since April or May since I uploaded my last video. If you guys want to know where I've been and what's been going on, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and comment down below, and I'll take care of that for you guys. But today, we're going to be talking about car stuff, more specifically Audis. And more specifically about the Audis is the MMI system. Some of you may have an older MMI, some of you guys may have a 3G Plus, which I have in my car, or in my A4. And we're gonna update the MMI software and the navigation system if you have that option in your vehicle. Now, with that being said, I have the link to the description where I got the software from, and it's critical that you do follow their instructions over mine, because I realized I did skip a step, and it's very critical because if you skip a step from their instructions, you could possibly break your MMI system and you may have to take it to a dealership to get that fixed, which is going to cost you more than what it would have cost you just to get the software updated by them. But don't worry, it is a very simple, easy process. It just takes a lot of time. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, guys, so first things first, if you haven't already, go to the website down in the description that I used to buy the software for both the MMI and the navigation system. It could be different for you because based off, you know, your specific model, generation that you have of that model. But first things first, it is recommended to have at least 2 SD cards. You can use it with one, but it will take more time. I personally used one, but then later on realized I had needed 2. So I was lucky enough, I was able to use a micro SD card, put it in a normal size SD card adapter. So it worked out fine, but I recommend not using anything bigger than 64 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes. And if you read the instructions on the website, it'll tell you specifically what brand to use, mainly because when you update the navigation database, it actually uses closer to, I think, 30 gigabytes, and you don't exactly get 32 gigabytes when you purchase a card. I don't know why, but I believe that's mainly for memory sectors and all of that, but that's more technical work I'm not going to get into in this video. All right, so now that you got everything purchased, you got all your files downloaded, now what you want to do, first things first, is you want to make sure you have a Windows-based computer. It is very important. If you have a MacBook such as myself or any Mac OS computer, Apple computer, use Boot Camp and download and install Windows 10 on a different partition of your hard disk, hard drive, SSD, whatever type of memory you've got. Use Boot Camp because you need Windows, because Mac OS uses hidden files that will confuse the MMI and most likely break your system. So I used Windows, so your screen recordings you will see, and later on in this video I used Windows. But first things first, what you want to do is go ahead and format those SD cards, make sure they're FAT32, and it's easy on Windows. All you got to do is click restore to defaults and FAT32 should be automatic. And make sure you do a quick format because 32 gigabytes on a regular SD card could take a while. So just click format start and it should be done. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to, if you have all your files downloaded, you want to extract using 7-zip, which it says in the instructions. So you can either go to Google or you can go to the link down in the description. Go to 7-zip, have that downloaded and installed on your computer or your Windows machine, and then use 7-zip to decompress the green menu activation. And once you get that compressed, it'll make a separate folder. If you go inside that separate folder, you'll see a bunch of files and maybe a couple other folders. You want to copy all of those and put it on your SD card. Now we're going to hop into the car and I'll show you guys how to activate that in the car. All right, now once you're in the car, what you want to do is put the SD cards in slot SD card 1 and give it a few seconds. But before you even put the SD card in there, make sure your MMI is booted up. You don't have any gray options. Your navigation, if you have it, your radio, telephone, and your media for Bluetooth devices or whatever media you have stored on your hard drive, if you have that option, like I said. Make sure all that's working and configured, and go into the menu of the MMI and then insert the SD card. Give it a few seconds. You see a screen that says rotate knob to activate script or something like that. Once you do that, give it a few seconds, and then it may reboot the MMI, or you may have to do it yourself. Now once the MMI is rebooted, wait for everything to power back up, or initialize on completely, so you can get into the navigation, telephone, and all of that all over again, and there's no waiting screens or nothing. Okay, so once everything is booted up, it depends on the specific MMI system you have. For the 3G plus users such as myself, it's car and menu. If you press them both at the same time for a few seconds, you should get a screen saying green menu loading, and that's when you release. And then from there, I'll show you how to get into user defined, which is what you want to do before you update the MMI software and the navigation system. All right, so this is where you need to have at least two SD cards, one with the green menu activation and then one for the software updates. Because especially when you get to updating the maps, mainly because when you update the maps, you will have to reboot the MMI, and every time you reboot the MMI, you lose the green menu option, so you have to reactivate it again. But with the MMI software update on its own, you could get away with just using one SD card. But it's recommended to have two, just to save you a little more time. The only difference between the maps update and the MMI update is on the maps, you have to go to the green menu twice. First time is to enable the user defined mode, which we'll get into here in a second, and the second time is to remove the partition and previous navigation data, just to save yourself some errors later on in the future, and save yourself more headache in the long run. But with the MMI first, let's start with the MMI updating with the green menu. So what you want to do is go down until you see a menu that says SWDL. Once you get in there, you'll see two options at the bottom with boxes next to them. Tick both of those. Once you do that, go ahead and reboot the MMI, and then your user defined will be updated, or will be enabled, and basically you have to do the same thing with the maps update as well. But with the MMI update, what you want to look out for is you have a Bose or Bang & Olufsen system installed in your car, because it does something with the audio signal that it doesn't work properly after you update. So it's recommended to remove that as being an option to be updated. If you look down at the website, it'll say which codes or which menu options you're looking for to disable, so you still have full functionality of your audio system. Okay, so now if you're continuing to update the navigation system after you got the MMI updated, which I recommend, update the MMI first before you update the navigation system or the maps. So if you're going to continue on, you're going to update the maps. Before you enable the user defined mode, what you want to do is go into the green menu. If you haven't already have that activated, go ahead and do that now. And instead of going to SWDL for the user defined mode, what you want to do is scroll down till you see NAV, NAV, and then once you get there, go to database update and go into that menu, and then what you want to do is click on remove navigation or database, or something similar to that. I have it written down below on the screen, or you can check out the instructions on the website. Once you do that, wait for it to complete, reboot the MMI. Now you have to re-enable the green menu again, go back into the green menu, go to the same menu, go to nav/database update, and then go to nav and then database update, and then delete the nav HDD partition, I believe that's what it's called. I'll have that down below on the screen as well, or you can check out the instructions on the website. But like I said in the beginning of the video, as a reminder, I'm not responsible. The people that you bought the software from is not responsible for any damage you do to your system, because their instruction says clearly on how to update everything without breaking your MMI system. And you may get a few errors here and there, but they give you instructions how to do that, which is the one part I did not show in this tutorial. Now that you have both the now that you have the navigation database removed and the partition deleted, reboot the MMI again, wait until everything boots back up, activate the green menu once again, and now you can go into SWDL and take those two options to enable user defined mode. All right, now that you got everything set up to update the navigation system of your MMI, what you want to do is have everything downloaded. You may have 20 to 30 some odd files like I've had. I had, I believe, 21 navigation system files alone. And you have to download one by one. And then once you have them all downloaded, you want to use 7-zip and start with the first file that says .001. You want to start with that one and then zip it. And 7-zip will detect that it's a multi-file compression, and it'll unzip every single file and put them on the one. That may take some time, so be patient. Once that's done, go ahead and go into the output folder, which 7-zip created of everything it just decompressed. Copy all the files and folders that are in that main folder and put that on your SD card. Now you go back into the car and go to the MMI. Now what you want to do is get into the engineering menu. Now when you get into the engineering menu, it's different from the green screen. You want to press menu and back at the same time and hold it. It might take you a couple tries to get it, but it will enable. All right, so once you're into the engineering menu, what you want to do is go to update, and then once you get the update, you'll be asked to select which input slot you're going to be selecting from. It should always be SD1, so it'll be SD card slot 1. So select that. It'll take a few seconds to read everything that's on the update. It'll tell you what software update you have available from that input. For me, I'll do the 3GP, which is the 3G Plus. It also came with the 3G Basic update on there as well. But I selected the 3GP, as you can see from the screen. Once you get in there, what you want to do is go to user defined. If you don't have any other options, go to user defined and look for this at the bottom. Look for this code at the bottom of the screen. If not, you'll see it on the screen of what I'm doing in my MMI system as well. Now, once you get in there, you want to make sure you have everything ticked, and I have all the information on the side of the screen because it is a lot to remember. If you want, you can also pause the video here and look down in the description because I have it there too. So I want everything to be as clear as possible. So once you get that, go ahead and go through all of that and start update. Now, the update will take maybe an hour and a half. For me, it took about an hour and a half. So just go ahead, cool down if it's hot outside. Sit in the car if you want to. I recommend, checking up on the car every 5 to 10 minutes because it will shut off on its own, like mine did. Mine shut off on its own after a while, but the update cannot be interrupted. So you want to make sure the ignition is always on. So if it ever decides to cut off with the how the MMI normally cuts itself off if you're sitting there, you want to keep that from happening because it could break your system if it interrupts the update. So we'll get back into this once the update's completed. All right, once the update is completed, we should all be at the same page. Those of you who did the MMI update, I know I'm talking more about the maps update, but the MMI videos I had for the update specifically for that somehow got lost. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to make a separate video for you guys, but it is the exact same procedure besides, having to delete a couple extra things in the green menu. But other than that, user defined is the same way, updating it is the same way. But once the update's complete for both the maps and the MMI, if you guys are watching this video to update one or the other or both, I appreciate it for sticking around this long. So once you get done, you'll get a update summary of everything that it updated, and it'll say okay next to everything that successfully updated. If it wasn't a successful update, you'll get a retry option available, and it'll retry to update that specific module or option that needed to be done. So once everything's updated and everything came out okay, click continue, and then you get a screen saying something about documentation. Click abort documentation or cancel a documentation, and this is where you'll get the error codes, which are linked down in the website, and I'll even have the description of the error codes are and how to read them and how to get rid of them. So far you've got everything updated if you followed this tutorial this long. All right, so now that you're done with the updates, MMI users, you're done for now. If you're going to do the maps update, I recommend you to follow the same procedure, but go back maybe a couple minutes or a few minutes back in this video and see where and how to begin the updates for the navigation system if you have that option in your car. Now, if you have a rear entertainment center, it's like the high-end A8, there's a way to do that. I personally don't have that option in my car because I only got the A4, so I don't have fully teched out car like that, so I don't have that option. But I believe it's similar. If you want to check it out for yourself, if you want to do that on your own, the website has instructions how to do that. But now, if you're done with the navigation system update, you have a file. A zipped file says license. What you want to do is unzip that, and once you get that unzipped, the folder's in the main file. You want to copy that into an SD card and put that in your MMI system. Once everything's booted up, no gray options or nothing, so you want to wait at least about 5 minutes for the MMI to completely boot up before you put the SD card in there. And the reason why is because this SD card has the activation license for the map, so you start using your MMI update again. Now, when I first updated it and activated the maps again, you will have to reboot the MMI once you get the license or activation installed in the MMI. But for me, for some odd reason, the navigation system kept saying any destination I put in, there was no route for it. But I gave it a couple minutes, drove around for a little while, and then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, everything started working again and giving me the routes to specific destinations. And so you might have to do that. In my case, I had to. You may or may not have to do that. So be prepared if you do. But that's all for this video, guys. I know it was a long one. It may be a little boring. I'm sorry. But tutorials, and for something this critical to help you from breaking your MMI system and having possibly dead system and you will no longer be able to use, it's critical that you do pay attention. First, what you want to do is go over the instructions on the website and then follow along with my video, because I know there's probably been a few things that I skipped, but I assured you everything I did not ruin my system. So like I said, follow along with the instructions that are on the website, and then rewatch this video to make sure you're following along properly. So thanks for watching, guys. Keep up the support. I know I haven't uploaded a video in a long time, but I'm over 200 subscribers and I never expected to get this far. So thanks for watching. Like I said, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful or if you liked it. And then if you get stuck on anything or have any questions, don't hesitate to comment below on this video or get in contact with customer support for the people that created the software or gave you the instruction how to update the MMI. And I'll see you in my next one.